this is something that's big for us, not just looking at Bitcoin, but actually empowering makers to build solutions, leveraging Bitcoin that can transform society, but also that actually help Africans live better and stronger lives. Ahead of the conference, for the last 2 months, we've been running a virtual hackathon called Legends of Lightning, which has been looking at actual concrete solutions that improve Bitcoin adoption. There's a specific track in the Legends of Lightning hackathon called the Build for Africa track. And in the Build for Africa track, we made a call for people who have ideas that will solve real problems in Africa, or solutions that actually help increase adoption of Bitcoin in Africa. What you're going to hear today will be presentations from the 8 finalists that we have. The top 3, the winner of the Africa track of the hackathon will win $5,000. The second will win $2,000, and the third will win $1,500. And there'll be an extra prize for design, which will be $1,000. And the winners in the Africa track will then also have the opportunity to be part of the global grand prize, which is 1 BTC for the winner and half a BTC for the second place. There are 8 ideas that are going to be pitched today. These guys have been working on them, some of them for months, some of them for quite a while. Not all of them are in the room today. So I'm going to share a few who've done their pitches via video. And those in the room will actually come out and pitch. They have 5 minutes each for their pitch. Unfortunately, because of time, we won't have time for questions. But I'd say if you have any question, if you have any idea, if you're interested in supporting them, if you're an investor, an angel investor, a VC, a developing code, you have APIs that you think would work for their solutions, you can meet them and feel free to engage them once the session is done. All right? Without further ado, our first pitch is Africa Free Routing. Can I have it on screen? So it's going to be a video pitch. Africa Free Routing. Can we give them a hand?
Really big shout out to all the makers out there. You've all built amazing projects, and we want to say thank you for all you do for Bitcoin and Lightning. This is our story. Africa Free Routing is a Bitcoin Lightning node and soon to be a network operated by African Bitcoiners, and our sole aim is to put Africa firmly on the Lightning payments map. We have a mission to bring freedom to Africa through Bitcoin, and central to that will be the Lightning network. However, when we looked at the map of Lightning nodes in Africa, we were disappointed to see this. So we decided to change that because long-term Lightning payments need to be near instant. So we can't be hopping our Bitcoin all over the world. We also wanted to do something different, and we're inspired by the model pioneered by zero-fee routing to charge no routing fees and instead pay the bills by selling liquidity. This gives us a very clearly defined customer. African retailers wanting to accept payment, node operators wanting African liquidity. It also helps our mission because it will even further diminish the cost of Lightning transaction. And so, we were born in August 2022, and the ride has been nothing short of amazing. The first month was quiet. We built a few channels and made one sale, thanks to crypto converts in South Africa. Then September just exploded and ended up with us being the second fastest growing node in the world for the month. We came second in the exponential layer competition, and they gifted us 20,000 sats. We then gave these sats to the kids at Bitcoin Hackathon because at the end of the day, that's why we're here, to help, particularly through Bitcoin education, where all our proceeds to date have gone. We are in this for the mission, not the money. Fast forward to today. We have just passed 6 BTC capacity well over 100 channels and growing every day. We are so incredibly grateful to the Bitcoin community for all their support and advice. In particular, we want to acknowledge Voltage, who are currently sponsoring our node. Their team, shout out to Nate, is amazing. We wouldn't have been able to afford to do this without them. Next, we plan to grow into Africa's largest and fastest network of Bitcoin Lightning nodes. It's that simple. Apart from improving our online customer experience, including automating purchases, our goals for the next year are 1. 500 channels across our node network. 2. 50 BTC total capacity. 3. 5 nodes in Africa. And 4. 1 BTC revenue. We need help finding Bitcoin-friendly hosting partners across Africa. And then in time, we're going to need investors of Bitcoin capital to help grow our capacity to 1,000 BTC by 2025. We are confident that we will be able to offer them a 1 to 2% return on their Bitcoin, and hopefully some clever engineer will build a great way for investors to still hold their keys. So who are the builders of Africa Free Routing? Well, you guessed right. Yeah, it's me, Megasley. I am the node runner of the Africa Free Routing node. I was a complete novice to setting up nodes, but with a growth mindset and a lot of grit and curiosity, I was able to pull it off. I'm very passionate about Bitcoin adoption in Africa. Alongside with me are my colleagues Sarah White, Koala, and Africolia. Together, we are fighting to bring freedom to Africa through Bitcoin. Thank you for your time, attention, support, and love. We really appreciate it.
Hello guys, this is Nuru. I'm the creator of Bankers. So Bankers is a solution we developed from A to Z, and it's a marketplace that would allow Senegalese people, population, to buy and sell Bitcoin, the P2P style, with our local currency, the XOF, and using our local payment method. This is an exchange. So a lot of people would say, oh, another exchange, but this is an innovation for us. When you live in Europe or United States or some part of Asia and you want to buy or sell some Bitcoin or all the cryptocurrencies, it's so easy. You have too many ways. You can do full KYC, you can do partial KYC, you even have solutions for no KYC. So when you're Senegalese, you don't have all those solutions. So you need to open an account on some big exchanges. You will provide some IDs. Sometimes they will refuse you because they don't have a way to verify your identity. So you have a lot of difficulties to have access to a platform to buy and sell Bitcoin. And all those platforms, most of the time, they are not built for Africans. So you have to adapt. So that's why we decided to create Bankers. It's in 2 steps, you can buy your Bitcoins. In 3 steps, you can sell your Bitcoins. So what is easier than that? You can use the local payment method. In Europe, people use credit card, debit card, wire transfer. Now you have instant payment. But in Senegal, you don't have all these ways. You have 2% of the population, they have a banking account. 40% of the population, they have a mobile money wallet. So we decided to include the mobile money wallet inside our solution. So if you use Senegalese, or if you come just to Senegal for tourism or for business and you want to buy or sell Bitcoin for some cash, what you can do is just log into Bankers. You create an account, we just ask you for your email address or your cell phone number. That's it, no KYC. And then you can post an announce or you can choose an announce. And in 2 or 3 steps, you can buy and sell your Bitcoin. And finally, you don't keep any Bitcoin. We push everyone after you buy it in our platform to withdraw it. So yeah, you know, we won't be on FTX. So this is Bankers, guys, and I hope you would appreciate it. You can already test it on test.bankers.com and let me know what you think about it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
For the next presentation, teams in the room, I'd like to invite Radoy and Ni for Team Agreement. Can we give them a hand?
Hello, hello. So very happy to be here, and I'm Radoy, and this is Ni from Team Agreement. So we would like to tell you a little bit about what we have built. Oh, here's the clicker. Okay. So just the initial words that practically I've done some work in so-called financial inclusion microfinance space, started 6 years ago, but actually found out a lot of inefficiencies, so that's what actually brought me to build on top of Bitcoin, and found a great team with me and some other guys to build what we call a self-sovereign micro-banking solution for informal financial groups. So there are almost or more than 500 million people in Global South that are actually part of these informal savings and loan groups. They're actually doing what you see on the screen. They're basically saving in metal cash boxes. They have some people from the community that have the keys, and they share the responsibility. But these people, they have challenges. First of all, they save in cash, so this puts their savings in certain risks, like risk of theft or embezzlement. And they save in, obviously, their local currency. So this is, as you have heard many times during the conference, at risk of inflation, sometimes hyperinflation, so it's not really convenient for long-term capital or accumulation or savings. And finally, their activity remains informal. I mean, there's some maybe books that they write on, this is what I've seen personally, but this is not data that is able after that to generate some kind of creditworthiness or trust in order for them to attract external capital to develop their community activities. So that's how we came up with a solution. And the solution is to empower these communities to become practically fully equivalent to a community bank through open source technology. And our technology, our solution, is basically providing full-fledged services, financial services, digital financial services to these communities, including the fact that they elect guardians to safeguard or safekeep the digital keys to the, obviously to the vaults, not to the metal cash box, but to the digital vault. And then members can save. They can pay inside the community, but also outside through Lightning and receive payments through Lightning. Not only just in Bitcoin, but also in a stable asset like US dollar, but we are also thinking about other local currencies for convenience purposes. And most probably importantly of all, they have access, members have access to this digital financial services through USSD, which is the non-internet connected feature phone's way to communicate with this kind of solution. Of course, we were very much inspired by what Machankuri is doing. The secret sauce behind is how to make this very simple, very easy. And we spent, because we actually made the team like almost 2 months ago, we spent most of this time to envision a very simple solution, very easy to get onboarded. Not really fully self-custody. We are providing a cloud infrastructure which is practically automating the provisioning of all the Fedimint nodes, all the Lightning nodes, but in a trust-minimized way, really secured in the way that we as provider, technology provider, cannot like basically embezzle something. And then we provide that both as a software as a service in terms of subscription model, but also for communities who feel empowered enough to do that on their own. They can run it, they can take ownership completely and run it on their own. So we are just facilitating this onboarding, but we are not kind of exclusively locking them in. Our team, as you see, we're an international team coming from Africa and Europe. We've been doing this type of activity for quite a while, but also we have a broad spectrum of product design, hardware and software. Why hardware? Because one very important part of our project is also very cheap hardware device, under $20 in terms of cost, to further secure the community custody. And what are the next steps? First of all, we are focusing on our next testing on the ground, go-to-market, in order to understand really what is the feedback of these kind of communities. We'll contribute not just to our own project, but also to Fedimint as a core component. And of course, after we prove and we establish the need, we'll fundraise in order to be able to scale. So reaching out to all of you who have thoughts about connections to communities or something that you can help actually prove this on the ground, really talk to us. We are here today, tomorrow. We'll be very happy to meet you and discuss. Thank you very much.
African Bitcoiners team and maker for SATS to Data. It is such an honor to be among the finalists. A big shout out to all makers who contributed to this tournament. We say thank you for all you do for the Bitcoin and Lightning space. SATS to Data is the fastest way to buy data with Bitcoin Lightning. The project was a spin-off from our Bitcoin for Beginners short course, whereby we wanted to educate Africans about Bitcoin and also reward them with 10,000 sats after completing the course and passing the final quiz. While the course was one side of the coin, which is Bitcoin education in Africa, we still needed to show people how easy it is to spend those sats on a day-to-day basis. Here lies the second part of the coin, which is Bitcoin adoption in Africa. Our aim is to show these new Bitcoiners that they can also get value for Bitcoin. Therefore, we thought to ourselves, what can one exchange for Bitcoin on a daily affair? And we zeroed in on airtime and data bundles. There, my friends, was how SATS to Data was born. Having said all that, let's now understand the problems this awesome project hopes to tackle. According to data from Chainalysis, we can say that Africa is one of the fastest growing Bitcoin markets in the world. Yet in Africa, the use of Bitcoin is very limited to either savings, trading purposes, or fiat exchange to enable individuals to spend on their day-to-day basic needs. Also, people have to exchange Bitcoin for fiat because there are limited places to spend Bitcoin as Bitcoin. If we hope to speed track the Bitcoin adoption process, we need more spend locations for Bitcoin. Then, there is also a small percentage of Bitcoiners who aren't exactly new to the fight and perhaps already have Bitcoin stacked away, but still have zero clue what Bitcoin can do for them and how they can get value for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin adoption to become a thing, there is a need for indigenous products that are easy to understand and use. So basically, we can say that SATS to Data is a really simple project that enables users to top up their smartphones with airtime or data using Bitcoin and the fascinating speed of Lightning. Therefore, our goal here is to help Africans understand that Bitcoin is more than just hard money that should be converted to fiat when there is need to spend, and we do believe that if people can purchase basic day-to-day necessities with Bitcoin, then we are on a clear road to a world of Bitcoin only. SATS to Data is a product of the African Bitcoiners team, developed by myself and my colleague Megasley, though it was a somewhat challenging project based on our current skill sets. We are proud of the outcome nevertheless, and do hope that our users get to experience how Bitcoin can be a part of their daily life. Now, let's see a demonstration of how to use SATS to Data. At the moment, this project is targeted for members of the African community who has access to smartphones and internet. But of course, we are not limited to that in the bigger picture. On SaaS to Data roadmap, we have certain things we plan to implement to the project. First off is changes to the user experience. We are working towards getting a project designer who is passionate about Bitcoin to join the team. Then we equally plan to build out a Telegram bot service via which users can purchase airtime and data. Also, we are already onto integrating Albi for easier web lightning payments. After all this, we can then consider some marketing plans. However, our goal is always to have such a good service that word of mouth drives our sales. In conclusion, we at African Bitcoiners aim to bring freedom to Africa through Bitcoin and work tirelessly to ensure we are moving steadily but surely towards our goal. We will apply the same tenacity to SaaS to Data to make sure Bitcoin adoption in Africa becomes successful.
So hello everyone to this short pitch and introduction video about LNVPN. I will give you a quick walkthrough about the features and tell you a little bit about the project. So the LNVPN is basically a VPN provider which is Lightning only, because Lightning gives the person who is paying for something very good privacy. And we believe that many VPN providers do a bad job when they offer credit card payments or PayPal payments, because many people in Africa don't have credit cards or also PayPal. In any ways, it's not a good idea to pay for privacy features with such KYC tools. So what we have here is you select a server. We have various endpoints. We have a server in each of these countries where we have a WireGuard API, and we don't have any backend, like we don't have a database where all our users are, so there's absolutely no data collection. You can generate your own connection keys here in the browser, but you don't have to. The private key never touches the backend. We have also an endpoint in Kenya, which we are very proud of. We have also Nigeria and Ghana in the pipeline. So if you are, for example, a dissident or someone who just wants to upload some documents and you need the VPN just for 1 hour, then you can use it for 1 hour, but you can also use it for longer. For example, for 3 months it's $9, so it's $3 a month. It's very cheap. So here, when I've decided which endpoint and how long I want to use it, I can create a Lightning invoice. I can open the invoice, pay with my wallet. Then I get back a QR code. I can scan this QR code with my phone, for example. When I want to use the VPN on my phone, now you see it's the Kenya endpoint, but I want to download this file, WireGuard. And then I go to my WireGuard app, I import the tunnel from a file. I go to the Kenya WireGuard conf, now I have the tunnel, I activate it, and now it's live. So let's see what my IP address is now. It was in Germany before, but now you see it's in Nairobi. So this is one of the features LNVPN provides. We have also an API where other services can use our VPN. For example, if you want to integrate this VPN into your own application, we have built last week an API where you can easily use it. So what else do we have? We have also something very cool and very new. It's a feature where you can request one-time usage phone numbers to get verification codes. So for example, I've opened here a Twitter account. It's the Twitter account of LN Tweetbot. It's another little project, but I just want to show you a demo. Let's say I want a one-time usage telephone number, let's say Germany, and then I also choose Twitter. I generate now a telephone number. First of all, I get a Lightning invoice again. I will pay the invoice, this time with my Moon wallet, and then I should get a one-time usage telephone number, and to this telephone number I can send a verification key, and this verification key will be displayed here soon after it's still confirming on Moon. Sometimes takes a little bit. So, perfect. Now here's the number. I copy the number, paste it in, and I see that this number is maybe already used. Next one, okay. Now they will send the validation code to this one. Let's get back, and now we just wait for the validation code to come. Here is the validation code. I copy paste it, and here I click verify, and that's it. I have changed my phone number without doing any KYC stuff, and so yeah, that's basically it. And we have also FAQ where you can see everything in more detail, and yeah, in the future I think we want to integrate way more other privacy features. If you want to reach out, we are on Twitter. You can see our whole source code on GitHub, and also you can come in our Telegram group if you have any questions about the project. So, thank you very much.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Tobi Ojalakwe, and my partner on Pennybit is
Tobi.
Okay. So, I don't know if my slides are up yet. Okay. Just waiting for the slides to come up. So we're really excited to have been selected as finalists for the Boat.Phone Hackathon, Legends of Lightning. And for our project, Pennybit, what we really built was a social payments platform that leverages on Bitcoin and Lightning to make it easy for young Africans to spend, earn, and learn Bitcoin. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so why is this important, right? So currently, Africa is regarded as the youngest continent in the world, and that is because we have over 60% of our population below the age of 25 years old. That provides us with over 800 million people who are potential Bitcoin users. And the reason why we're focusing on young people is because you would all agree with me that young people are very easy to adopt new technology, and they are very more open-minded than the older people, right? So that is why we're trying to build a social payments platform that tries to make activities and transactions that young people already do with fiat and the normal banking systems, to try to convert all of those transactions to Bitcoin-based and Lightning-based transactions. So that was basically the idea behind Pennybit. And also because myself being a 23-year-old young African, I found it difficult at some point receiving international payments in my local bank account, and I felt Bitcoin has the potential to solve that problem for a lot of young people across Africa. And we think Pennybit also has the potential to do that. Okay, so really the question we asked ourselves when we built this product was, how might we orange pill the next 1 billion young Africans? How can we make Bitcoin transactions, Lightning transactions, as easy as sending a WhatsApp message or a tweet? And that is really important because we know that not a lot of people are really interested in the technical aspect of things. Not a lot of people need to know how to code before they need to interact with Bitcoin, because the real adoption of Bitcoin will come from utility. Real adoption of Bitcoin will come from, okay, I can use Bitcoin to do these things, right? Not necessarily, oh, I can code Bitcoin. So that is the major idea that we had behind building a platform that sort of abstracts the need to know how Bitcoin works or anything. Just perform your transactions. You can come on Pennybit right now, create an account, create an invoice, and you start receiving payments with Bitcoin. Okay, so our approach really just focused on 3 main aspects: creating an opportunity and tools that provide young Africans opportunities to learn, earn, and spend. On the learning part, Pennybit has an array of courses that are introductory to Bitcoin, so people can actually just watch very easy to learn, easy to understand explainer videos on how to get started on Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is all about. Not necessarily the technical parts, but the parts that a person can understand. For the spending part, we currently have integrated with ways for people to buy airtime and data on their phones using Bitcoin and Satoshi. And then for the earning part, we've integrated with, or we're looking to integrate with gaming platforms like Thunder Games to enable gamers to get gift cards and win satoshis when they play games. And also we're looking to integrate with platforms that provide ways for young Africans to perform microservices or micro-tasks like data annotation and things like that to actually earn money. Okay. So since we actually started working on Pennybit about 3 weeks ago when the hackathon started, and since we launched, we currently have about 20 users on our platform with a wait list of over 30,000. We actually just shared it with a couple of group chats, and you'd all agree with me that you're a lot of young people on social media, so we leverage a lot on social media to grow that waiting list. And since then, we've also been able to process about 100,000 sats. So moving forward, right, we are looking to leverage a lot more on social media platforms. A lot of young Africans are using social media a lot, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. So we want to make it easy for those people who already use those platforms to get onboarded on Pennybit. We're also looking to integrate with WhatsApp to have a way in which people can actually make and receive Lightning payments via WhatsApp. So that is also something that's in our pipeline. Then we also want to leverage a lot on student communities across various universities. So there are clusters where students currently are, and we want to leverage on that to promote Pennybit. And then finally, we're looking at third-party integrations with social media platforms that young people already use, like WhatsApp, like I mentioned earlier. With that, we're actually projecting to have about 1.2 million people in the next 5 years using Pennybit. Hopefully, we get the right support and the right mentorship to actually build this out. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Vlad, meet my partner, Theo. So we are wallet developers, and today we are going to share with you a tool that we believe would increase the adoption on the continent. All right, so we decided for this hackathon to build a word list. For those who don't know, a word list is just a simple group of words that is used to generate the mnemonics that come out of most of the non-custodial wallets that we use. But the problem right now is that all the non-custodial wallets that we use, they don't support any language from our continent. So we decided to build a word list for Swahili. So what we did basically is in July we started with a dictionary, and that dictionary was reviewed by some Swahili experts. Then based on the review that we got, we're able to narrow down the dictionary and actually filter it out based on certain criteria. So basically, like, you wouldn't want offensive words to be in a mnemonic list, right? So we filtered it out. So right now, we've been also able to like create a PR for this particular project. So the PR is open on the Bitcoin repository. If there's anyone who knows Swahili, you're welcome to go and have a look at it.
The first video by the right, what we were trying to look for a way to make the Afro mnemonics interoperable between wallets, because one of the concerns people had was that, okay, we already have other word lists, like in Portuguese and French, but like many wallets don't implement them. They use English anyways. So how do you make the Swahili word list interoperable? So we did a little experiment. We created a translator, credits to Olawale, who also assisted us in doing this. So what we did was we created a wallet in a Blue Wallet, and we got a mnemonic from it. And the mnemonic was in English. So the translator implementation we copied the mnemonic in English from Blue Wallet, and we pasted it in this translation. You can see that you can choose the language in which you want to paste. Then you kind of just put the English mnemonic that you've generated from your Blue Wallet. Then you translate it to your language of choice. And now we translated it to Swahili. So we expect that when you translate the mnemonic from English to Swahili, by the time you convert the mnemonic back to English, you should get all the history of your wallet. That is, when you paste that translated mnemonic back in Blue Wallet, you should be able to get all the history of that wallet. And the mnemonic translator does exactly that. So the issues about interoperability between wallets has been solved with this translator. There's still much work to be done, but this just goes to show that regardless of the language in which you create your mnemonic, you can, convert your mnemonic to your language of choice and actually use it to recover whatever wallet history you want using that translator.
It's rather unfortunate that the demo didn't work. It was like the perfect thing. So the next steps for us, we want to get the PR merch. So as I said, if there's anyone that knows Swahili and would like to review it, you're welcome to. Hello? You're welcome to have a look at it. Then the next thing is we have a developer that is waiting to use this word list. So the developer behind Eta Wallet, he's looking forward to work on this. So while we're working on it, one of the ideas that we had is currently, as I said, we work on wallet software, right? Currently, the softwares that we use, or BDK, which is like a library for wallets, it doesn't support something like this translator. So it'd be good to have something like this in BDK. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that one thing we also plan to do is to improve the translator app for the wallet mnemonic interoperability. One feature, one PR that was recently made to the translator app was suggestions for the mnemonic. So regardless of the language you are typing on the translator, it will automatically figure out which word you want to type. Blue Wallet has this feature, but it only supports English. But now we are supporting all the languages in the BIP39 repository. So we hope this PR gets merged, and we hope to see where this takes us.
Hello, everyone. I am Samson Olusegun by name, and I'm a software engineer. Yeah, so at BitPayroll, we're trying to solve a problem for companies that actually want to pay their employees in Bitcoin. Most of the solutions that we see around right in our world right now is that there's no solution that keeps tracks of our payroll system in Bitcoin. For instance, if you as a company runs a Bitcoin system that you're paying your employee, and you want to confirm how much you've spent in a year or in a cycle, you don't know how to do that unless you go to the Block Explorer and start looking at all the transactions that are happening, which is not really in compact space. Yeah, sorry about that. So what are we trying to solve here? We're trying to consolidate payroll records, like for instance, your employees' record and their salary in the payment cycle, and we're trying to put it in a single place where after you send, we have this record using our system to consolidate the records in one location, and you can reference them at will at any time you want, and you want to process the payment via Bitcoin Lightning Network as the major payment rails that can process. For instance, you just send a Bitcoin to your employee. Your employee can decide to get it in any of the currency that they want in their various country. And we are not trying to revert the wheel because most of the countries in Africa, I won't say most, a few countries in Africa have these implementations regarding a specific wallet. And some of the users in that country, like maybe in case of Nigeria, we have BitNob, where they already take care of getting Bitcoin and then getting it inside their bank account for easy usage. So in this case, what we just require from the employee is to get their wallet from BitNob to send to their employer. So the second one is payments processing, then payroll as a platform for individuals. So we have concerns regarding owning your keys or not owning your keys. So we are looking at helping organizations that actually have technical know-hows. They can decide to run an instance of the application themselves because it is open source, and where if they have the technical know-how, they can do that. And if they don't have the technical know-how, we can consult for them to help them set it up and train them on how it works. And that's on their own part. But for instance, a single sign-off person, for instance, I want to hire a freelancer. I don't need to run an instance myself. I can just log in on the platform, get my Bitcoin from BitPayroll or that. You can order your Bitcoin from BitPayroll, then send to your employee, maybe based on contract or any other thing. So how it works, first you create an account, maybe as an organization, you create an account, then you create a wallet and you fund it, maybe from BitSparrow, and then you can invite your employee. You invite them by their email, and when your employee get the emails, what do? They get their wallet address from their favorite wallet, which they can easily convert money to their local currency. When they get that, once the payment cycle reaches, they get the money in their favorite wallets. So our approach, self-custody, like I said earlier, we are allowing organizations to be able to run an instance on their own and manage everything on their own hand, given the configurations to run the entire software. And then we are trying to provide liquidity too, as part of also for us making money. And then payment as a platform, like I said, for individuals that cannot run an instance themselves. So meet the team. So we are a team of 4, actually. I'm the only backend engineer currently, and I'm moving fast to develop the entire backend infrastructure and the DevOps. I have 2 front-end engineer and then a UI UX designer. And spoiler, the QR code leads somewhere. You can scan it. Some leads to the website, to the platform where you can test, and some leads to our Figma design, because everything is open source. We're building in the open. So, and our product timeline, we started this project in November, and between November and February, we are building and we're developing and testing each of the components, because we're based over, we're integrating different components from different services to make it work. And by March, we are looking at launching our beta and, get feedbacks from people that are testing, and we try to iterate. And then by June, we're looking at launching the platform in general. And lastly, what are the technologies we're using? TypeScript, Node.js, React, Prisma, Bitcore, and LND, Lightning Node. And we talk about Model too. How we're looking at getting money from routing fee, because if we are processing payments for companies, we must run a node on Lightning Network, and from there we can get fees from routing for other nodes too, and the entire Lightning Network. Then open source licensing, for the fact that some will be getting their instance run by themselves, we can get more funding from there. And then payments processing, we can get funding from there too. And thank you very much. So you can check the project out. It's on GitHub. It's open source. Anybody can contribute if you're interested. Thank you very much.
One big round of applause to all the teams that presented. They've tried to compress months of work in 3 to 5 minutes of presentations. Unfortunately, we can't ask questions from them in here, but the reason why we wanted them to pitch is because we know some of the people they need to speak to, some of the support they need, some of the investment they need are in this room. So if there's any of the ideas that you have an interest in finding out more about or supporting, you can either reach out to the makers, or if they're not here, you can also reach out to me and I can put you in touch with them. Tomorrow, I think second to last session of the day, we'll be announcing the winners of the Build for Africa Hackathon. So like I said, the first prize is going to win $5,000 in sats. Second prize, $2,500 in sats. Third prize, $1,500 in sats. And then we'll have a special design prize. And then they'll also be on the line for the global prize, which is 1 BTC for the winner and half a BTC for the runners-up. Thank you all very much. And yeah, that's it.